875 hours since we started this experience. We're continuing our road to the King of Europe server. Today I'm going to show a couple of budget Warlock builds with which everyone can make a decent bank on low and mid tier. The system remains the same, taking on work one step at a time by doing the step with consistency even when it gets hard. My favorite kill this week, we fought with tier 7 one-hand curse budget build, no cave strategy to lower average AP against a greedy one-shot dagger pair swiper. Strategy goes as follows. If the enemy has higher spec than you, try to get at least one stack extra before he dismounts on you, or at least be in melee range of the enemy. Always on laser against one-shots and time your rope defensive after he has 2 stacks of Q either on you or him. If he still has stacks afterwards, you can use Hunter Hood and your heal, resistance or gigapod to face tank his E damage while you go for your finisher with E. If he doesn't have a straight counter, just go ahead and finish him. If he has a straight counter, keep your Q stacks until he dies. 6 million for the bank. First blood goes to a Mace user. We were on stream testing out a sustained tank shadow color low to mid tier build. Works very good against melee and brawl matchups. Certain matchups can even work with 2 tiers lower than the enemy. Start with one defensive ability and by putting 3 Q stacks on the enemy, then if you see the enemy attacking you, you activate Soldier Armor. When you have 8 stacks, use Garage. This will timestamp the damage of the Garage for the whole 10 seconds duration. Then E on yourself to lower enemy defensives and slow him down. To get maximum amount of damage, use auto on late or early free tick Garage. This way, by the time it reaches the enemy, you can get 4 ticks of Garage and max amount of damage. Use Demon Boots either as a finisher or to run away from third-party rats. Before we continue, I want to give a big shout out to our channel family members, and also I want to thank all of my returning and new viewers for making this video possible. If you have any questions regarding the game or you need some in real life advice, feel free to ask. I'll respond to everyone, and I mean it. You can check all my comment sections. When you play this build, don't get over your head and get into greedy fights. For example, against this one-hand cursed brother that has 2 tiers above me, I could have definitely win against him if I had my potion from an earlier fight. Unfortunately, I overestimated my tankiness on tier 7 and died on his finisher. Minus 1 million for the bank. One of the cons of this build is that you have to convince people to take unfair fights with you. If you want to increase your chances of finding a fight, you can keep your defensives 1 tier lower than the damage dealer, weapon and offhand, and use no cape. In this case, Claymore doesn't expect our damage, 700k for the bank. When it comes to straight counters, you should be very careful and pay attention on when you use your soldier armor. Better to use it after he uses his straight counter or just time it with your grudge. If you want to cheese people, either go for damage with Tedford, Cape, or Martlock and stay low enough to be able to catch up if he runs away from you at the end. 1 million for the bank.
I think he wants to swap his skill or something. I mean, 300k is not bad. Not bad at all. Man. 300k. So that, so I sell this. Okay. Good. 2 more.
When life gives you lag, you make bank. When the enemy has semi-P tier and no sustain, you can use root W to make sure you stay on them and finish the job. This guy was teleporting around, so I took advantage of the situation and made another 900k for the bank. Against kiting and lower IP players, you have to make sure you waste your soldier armor so that they stay in the fight and not run away. Use either piercer laser or root W so that the enemy doesn't reset too much. If the enemy misses one of his combos, it's free kill. 1 million for the bank. When it comes to ganking people in the camps, the Shadow Caller has a low amount of success. If you see the enemy has lower or the same IP, you could try to get dismounted with root W and get low enough on mobs to be able to stay on the enemy if he tries to get away. It's not gonna work every time, but you'll make some extra silver. This case, 800k for the bank.
Good. It's good. Even though it's a blue one, it's fine. Not 100k. Fair enough. Yes. The pain is good. The salad is so bad. Can save this. Good 300k. Not bad. Always contests the builds, so full HP yet. 100k.
One of the biggest issues you have with this build are the sweat lords. As you don't have any mobility on this build, you won't be able to run away from sweats. This is why I recommend that you don't go above tier 7 if you don't have full spec in the tree, minus 1 million for the bank.
Especially on heavy armor. Light armor. Loki. 350. Finally got something. Okay.
This little guy will get so... If you are more into the kiting style, you can also try demon staff. I wanted a change of pace, so I bought a tier 7 1 million build out of curiosity. You can make some interesting outplays, but not all the time. 1 million for the bank.
Okay, let's save this. Okay. Another 300k. Almost got him there. Not today, bro. 600k. Alright. I'll get him there. Can use my second poison to finish it.
I didn't have enough patience to take this build for at least a 10 death run, but you can definitely fight some higher IP tier opponents. This fight I lost at the end because I used my boots to catch up with him instead of keeping them for Undead Cape to finish him off.
It was just usual 100 per staff with full spec. Fireball. Let's go. 600k, not bad. Not bad at all. I messed up. Okay. 170k. Yes, the pain is okay. Let's go. Let's go. 1 minute. 500k. Not the worst Pain is good. Look is meh.
1.2 for the win.
No? That you see Sweatlord, like for him, and Sweatlord because I have 1,400 equivalent. Let's see. Might be better than the big chest. Open big chest. 400k, bro! What I told you. No way. I'm banking. Stay outside of his circle. He gets a lot of... Of course you kill better you counter better. Especially if it's a fair fight and he doesn't get your card. Nice. Almost. Gonna use... Soups. Okay, 70k now.
Experience make for best banks. One hand curse budget build versus double counter, one hand fire staff. He uses both his defensives too early. I get the free chance to use my finisher with E, 1 million for the bank. $1.2 million.
Okay, 200k, meh. Nice. Good. I mean... Nice. Already. 350. Fair enough. Morning, everyone. Oh boy, time to bank. If you have to go for Wanderlust, you can get a respawn. Okay, 300k for silver. What the? 100k. Heroes have a coffer. That's good. Let's save this. Purple, let's go. 100. 500k, let's bank. I don't know why this time no see. 200k, not bad. Good. 100k, not bad. Let's find a door better. Okay, here we go. Nice, 300k. Just already. 150. Okay. Bye. Jacket. What else might kill the buffer? Save this. Jump already. Now it's dead. 500k, let's go. Let's go. Will be good. 350k. Just want to see the average price of one. Okay, fair enough. 1.4 million. Okay, let's mount up. Save this. Hello? There now. I find this.
If you're using budget one hand curse build with no cape, you'll get more fair IP fights. One hand works very good against brawling melee matchups, especially when the enemy doesn't have a counter. You get a free finisher, 1.5 million for the bank. If you're going to gather, do it on a proper mobility build. Don't try strange brawler builds. If I catch you off guard, even with budget build, it's still a free kill. 1.3 million for the bank. At the moment of recording this video, these are the specs I managed to get so far. By applying what I know, what I learn from others, and by practicing, step by step I'll become the best for at least one aspect of this game. If you want more tips on how to win more, check out the video that I left on the right. And remember, always and forever, better support wins.